And welcome back now to the Grand Hotel during the Mackinac Policy Conference. I'm Zoe Clark. Michigan leaders are launching a new innovation alliance aimed at strengthening the state's innovation economy through deeper collaboration between universities, startup, investors, and industry partners. For more, let's turn to Jennifer Hayes. She's Senior VP of Public Policy at Invest Detroit, and Brittany Affolter Caine, Executive Director of Research Universities for Michigan. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Hi, Zoe.
Great to have you here. Jennifer, Michigan has long been known for manufacturing, for mobility, but the state is now trying to expand into a broader innovation economy. What does that mean?
It's a really good question. It's a really good question. I would say it means when you have all of these amazing ideas at universities or even within companies, how do we take them out, create a startup, and then grow them here in Michigan? We're seeing it can be in all industries, everything from mobility and automotive to life sciences to defense and aerospace technologies, anything you can think of. We really want that to start here and grow here in Michigan.
So what does that look like?
Oh, lots of things. So I would say it's everything from a Duo Securities that we saw, one of our biggest unicorns in history, to Brace, which is a shoelace company from two MSU students that was recently on Shark Tank. So think of everything from app and your phone for security to shoelaces.
Okay.
To even mobility technology, right?
Right. Brittany, Michigan's research universities generate a lot of research and talent, but commercialization, right, can be a challenge. I'm curious how the Alliance is going to help connect university innovation, a couple of things that you just brought up, with real economic growth and startup activity.
Right. So our universities, just for the audience to know, do more than $3.6 billion in R&D a year. If you couple that with the corporate sector, we're a top 10 state for R&D. But where we're missing the boat is in moving the innovation that comes from that R&D into the marketplace where we can all use it for the better, where it can generate companies and jobs and revenue. Tax base. And so how we're doing this is making sure that everybody is in and nobody is out in this coalition. We have our research universities and our higher ed partners from all across the state are welcome in this coalition because innovation happens everywhere. It is founders, it's funders, and it's the corporate sector. So we're really going end to end in the innovation economy. Right now, I think there's a lot of leakage coming from our universities in terms of commercialization opportunities, because when we have spin-outs or we have license opportunities for our innovation, it is not happening here in the state at the level it should, because the environment isn't really here to support that in the way that it's just more fertile territory. It's friendlier in other places, including downstate in Ohio. We really hate that. Somehow more than California or Texas. So this is where we partner together, and that's how we're going to move forward in the innovation economy.
Jennifer, from the perspective of economic development and investment, what does Michigan need to do better if it wants to compete with these other states?
A couple things. So I would think, one, we need to make sure we have enough early stage capital here to be able to get, when you commercialize these ideas, these early stage founders need capital immediately and to be able to grow. And we're going to do that in a couple different ways. One, we want to see, from a public policy standpoint, see our state investing at a greater level and consistently. We've seen that in Ohio, and they've been doing this for over a decade, and they've really got a strong market. But by doing that, it also means we can leverage some private investment and really grow that portion of our economy, and that's going to drive multiple layers within the ecosystem.
Brittany, I'm hearing that a major theme of this effort is collaboration. Why is it so important to see this collaboration instead of everyone just working in silos?
Well, it hasn't worked so far.
Right.
This is the first time we have made it to the starting line. And I think it's important to couch our expectations. It took Ohio a long time, decades, to get to where they are now. I hope it doesn't take us decades, but we got to start now. We're at the starting line. We need a diversity of perspectives. A founder's interests are maybe going to be different than a corporate person's, and yet in this economy, we need both. The founders need the corporate sector to be first customer. We at the universities need the corporate sector to do sponsored research and to work with our talent and to license technology. And so all together, we're going to do that. But I want to, I've been cautioning everywhere we go, collaboration is messy. And when you have that many different perspectives, it gets tense. Sometimes we may not get on very well, but through all of that, we will end up in a much better place than where we are today at the starting line.
Can we get there?
Well, I don't think any of us would be doing it if we didn't believe we could. We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're desperate, you just have to move forward. I would never advise people to collaborate unless there were no other choice. That's where we are today.
Yeah. Jennifer, where are the biggest opportunities, do you think, moving forward for Michigan right now when it comes to innovation?
I would say it's going to be in a few different areas, which is what we're really focused on the Alliance, is one, how do we all come together around a common strategy to help us get to be top 10? It's really thinking about that policy and advocacy lens of where do we align to have the biggest impact, and then really telling our story. We have so many amazing innovation stories in Michigan that we just don't cheer about, and so how do we tell that story better, both internally and externally? And I think if we can start to really get those organized and really push those forward, you're going to start to see some great momentum. But then we're also going to reevaluate in 18, 24 months to see what's working and not working, and are we addressing the challenges we need to be challenging, and we're going to kind of reorganize a little bit.
Well, in the minute that we have left, Brittany, I was going to ask you that. How are you going to know if this is successful? What is success going to look like in 5 or 10 years?
You know, I remember my son when he was really little, he was making a paper airplane and it kept falling flat. Yeah. And he's like, it's not perfect. And we're like, well, what's perfect? He goes, not this. And that's kind of how I think we know that it's not this. Yeah. We're going to make incremental progress. And at the end of 3 years, we're going to look and evaluate ourselves. Are we making progress? We know that no one has done this yet to advocate statewide for these things. And so if we're doing our job and if there's more work to be done, which I'm sure there is, we will continue. But we are going to hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah. Brittany, Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And we head now to a special conversation with Michigan's 4 legislative leaders.